whoever wins this will be making themselves into the positive overall win rate, which will be very good for them going on. But here will be our higher seed, Mr. Yo in the blue, as the Malians to the east of the map.
And over towards the west in the red, we do have Hera playing as the Aztecs.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Both players losing their first set, but then coming off of some nice wins on their second set. Both going, I think, 3-0, if I recall correctly. I don't know, that's yesterday. That's way too long ago. Anyway, so, of course, it's Arabia. Aztecs, very, very popular civ. They're like the, you know, the old school, I guess, yeah.
They've been around a long time now. Pros particularly have a lot of playtime with them. They know how they handle. The meta has changed a bit, but very, very good grasp on how they should play.
Yeah, certainly. And then Malians, one of my favorite Arabia civs. I think they're actually kind of underutilized. I think they're just like absolutely top tier, because you can pretty much do anything with them, and they're incredibly strong throughout most stages of the game until like super late post-imp. But before then, you can pretty much do anything. You have that wood discount, you have the faster working gold miners, you have the men-at-arms that are a bit tankier to archers and stuff. And they're just so flexible, and they can adjust their toolkit based on how they need to deal with their opponent. Aztecs, though, have like maybe 1 or 2 bad matchups. Like, they have such a good matchup spread, in my opinion.
Having a look at the maps as well, I am kind of starting to favor Hera here a little bit with these 2 extra golds in the back. The only thing I'm not liking is how open this front section is. Will take a little bit to kind of wall off, but compared to Yo on the other side of the map, there's this big open section towards the north here, and this is going to be huge for him to be able to hold. He's got his 2 extra golds in there, he's got 2 stones in there. If that gets locked down by Hera, Yo can be in a lot of trouble very, very quickly.
Yeah, that is not pretty, to say the least. I guess he can kind of wall the south side of his base fairly easily. You can just like go here and then here or something. But this area here, it's going to be where all the action's going to be. Both secondary golds and both stones there. And when you have an aggressive civilization like Aztecs, this can really put Yo potentially on the back foot. So maybe Yo himself is going to go and try for something aggressive. No boar laming, obviously, in this tournament. And like you were saying, Hera's map, it's fine. Not the greatest map ever, not the worst.
That's it. I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage. As the game kind of goes later with those 2 back golds, it will be a little bit kind of helpful towards him.
Oh no! Hera!
Oh, wow.
Oh, he must be taking luring coaching from Doubt.
Oh, are we seeing the block? And the block?
You're not allowed to do that, right? Are you?
I feel like you're allowed to block, you're just not allowed to steal the ball with your scout.
Oh no, wait! What? Why did the board de-aggro?
Oh, wow, that was huge. Yo is out for blood today.
Yeah.
And look at where it's landed as well. That is not an optimal boar lure there for Hera.
No, Hera.
He's 1 villager down, non-optimal boar lure. Oh, I wish I was watching Yo's point of view then. I just wanted to see his face as that happened and that unfolded. So let's jump into the POVs for a second here as well. See how everyone's actually dealing with this.
Speaking of...
oh, he's still got the Christmas mod on. I love you so much, Yo. Look at those little fancy bushes.
Oh, I think Hera does too, actually.
Oh, that
but
makes me
did
so
you see
happy.
the picture yesterday where it was like Yo smiling when he saw Doubt's transport ship?
I
That was
did.
an absolute gem.
Definitely one of the things where the player cams in here, especially when they're synced up, when we can get them as good as possible. It just gives you so much more insight in terms of what they're actually doing and what they're thinking.
Turk, Yo is a little over 2 villagers ahead right now.
I'm going to put you back in here right now, just on your point of view. If you have a look down towards the back of Hera's base, Yo's looking for the second lame.
Oh, lamer boy. You know, rules say you can't steal boars, but I guess you are able to block villagers.
I'm going to push you straight up to the north now, on top of Yo's base as well. We've actually got Hera looking like he's waiting there with the Eagle Scout. Looks like he's trying to get some revenge. Oh, it's about to be micro war. Both players are going for the lane.
Both players are going for it, but Yo, I think, is going to be able to get in just fine.
Hera's timing seems a bit off.
Hera's timing's a bit off, but Yo also not able to block himself, so I think both players will be able to get their boars without any issue. But look at that discrepancy with the villagers. It's like 2 and change villagers in favor of Mr. Yo. And yeah, Aztecs are a super fast, aggressive civ, but so are Malians, and I would love to see an aggressive follow-up here from Yo.
Oh, there's no way he's not going to. He sees it. He knows he has this kind of advantage. He's been around long enough that he can read this so well. The barracks is already coming up from him as well. Hera's scouted it, but at the same time, I feel like this was pretty expected. So the ball's basically in Hera's court here. If Yo can keep putting in the damage, do what he needs to. And the only thing I'm worried is this might actually kind of throw Hera off his game a little bit and really kind of affect his confluence. Let's jump into his point of view for a minute as well.
Yeah, we are seeing the 21 pop men-at-arms from Yo. Malians can do just about anything as an opener, but that is about one of the more aggressive openings out there. You can see Hera just trying to stabilize himself just a little bit. Barracks almost complete for him. Yo's already clicked up. Hera, he's even having to make another villager. Actually, if we switch to his PO or his resources at least, well, you guys can see it.
We'll swap back to you.
Okay. Most importantly, I couldn't see it at that very second, and I'm the one in control. So, 4 villagers over to gold?
Okay.
What is this madness?
All right, I'm not sure what he kind of really wants to go for here, because we've got Yo, he's already most of the way up towards castle. Are we going to see... I'm actually a little bit kind of stuck on this one. Second lumber camp does get thrown up, but Yo's starting to get his militia out as well, so he's just going to be out ready to go across and start doing some damage. What are your thoughts here?
Looks like maybe one villager is going forward. That does appear to be the case. This is definitely going to be a very aggressive opening. Out of all the players in this tournament, I would say that Yo is like the one who's most likely to go for tower aggression, because we just see that a lot from the Chinese and Vietnamese players that I know I end up casting all day long. But look at this, 50% feudal age difference. Yes, almost certainly Hera will be going for some amount of militia, but it's going to be a pretty tricky defense as the men-at-arms are going to be coming in here, and likely a forward tower as well. At least one, but Hera does have these nice quick walls.
The good news is for Yo as well, he does have quite a bit of scouting information. He knows about one of the back golds, but not both. Knows about both of the stones there, so if he does want to get super aggressive here, he will know. Hera has spotted the full drush coming in now, so he should be in a relatively good spot to kind of hold this one off. He's got most of his walls up, just needs to be careful with his lumber camps now.
Oh yeah, definitely. This I think is going to be really rough. I actually didn't even see it first. The 4th militia, soon to be men-at-arms. This is like about as aggressive an opening as you can get. We have the watchtower on the way. Quick gate, but gates have no armor. These men-at-arms are coming around, and they should be able to tear down this gate quite quickly. Somehow they're like stacking on top of each other. You'd think that this guy is just stabbing this guy in the back, but somehow no. Look how low HP that is already. But still, the gate goes up, and now it does have some amount of armor.
Oh, loses the Eagle Wolf Scout there as well.
That is not what you want to be doing.
This is not what we want to see from Hera
the tower
this
coming
early.
in, though. But
double range?
Can he do anything? Double range, obviously. Like, you go for 4 villagers on gold right away, that has to be, like, a very fast double range. But he's now pushed off of the gold, and that is not what you want in this scenario. Other golds are over here, and over here you see Hera going to the one in the far back, but this is so rough here for our red player. Is able to stag the scout cavalry, so that is something.
Yo back at home as well, even preparing for any kind of counter we could see from Hera. He's actually already got an outpost up. He's thrown up an archery range of his own, so he's starting his transition personally as well. So this isn't going to be the end of the aggression here. This tower, forcing away from the gold, it's just going to get all villagers away from the town center and going to make them even more susceptible to a big raid here.
Yeah, remember, guys, that Malian men-at-arms on top of this have that 1 extra pierce armor, so the archers, until they get fletching, are only dealing 2 damage a shot. So, yeah, the archers will poke down these men-at-arms eventually, but it's going to take a fairly long time. So unless, the men-at-arms run into the TC, like if I were playing, then they could still probably cause a bit of idle villager time or something like that. Hera even deleting these quick walls as these men-at-arms make another loop around.
We've got the full walls coming around the tower for Yo as well while he walls up his base defensively. He's played this so well. He's read the matchup. He knew he got the kill on the villager, played it aggressively behind that, and he's not easing up here. He's made life hard with this tower, spreading Hera out across the map. He's using this time to wall himself up and make his transition extremely safely. I'm absolutely loving this play.
The militia or men-at-arm is bugging out right now. Like, if it should have attacked this palisade gate along with its 2 brethren, but it didn't. And I think that was literally the difference between this palisade gate going up and it dying instantly. That was really unfortunate for Yo.
As you noted earlier as well, we've got these archers still just walking around. They're looking for a way to get rid of these men-at-arms, but they are just so tanky. We're only just having fletching come in for Yo now as well. Hera hasn't even really been able to begin to think about it.
Yeah, it's just so tricky. The stone miner's going to be on the way here for Yo as well, so he will be able to make additional towers. I'm pretty sure he still has his villager forward.
Yes, he does. Just building houses, trying to keep it as active as possible.
Oh yeah, good stuff as far as that goes. And yes, again, these men-at-arms aren't likely going to kill anything else, but they're just so annoying, and Hera has to focus all of his attention on them and not, taking random hits from them. And it's just buying time for Yo to wall up quite comfortably, and still just going to be so chillin' right now.
He's even got skirmishes coming down to join the fight here as well, which are going to make things very hard for Hera. It's really going to start putting the pinch on. He did have a way to deal with his men-at-arms. Now the skirmish is going to come forward. Not really the trades Hera's looking for.
Definitely not. There's still 2 men-at-arms alive, and they are getting the occasional hit off. I mean, these guys are tanks, man. But in come the skirmishers. Remember, this is fletching versus no fletching. Yo, going to be trying to get some snipes on these archers, keep the archer count low. Hera able to slip and slide away. But, I mean, the skirmishers aren't going to be very threatening against all these villagers.
Hera actually did produce an extra Eagle Warrior behind this, or Eagle Scout, I should say, at this stage, still behind this one. He is actually scouting out Yo's base, so he does have an idea of what's going on there. He's noticed his opponent is just about fully walled. I'll check that out really quickly if you want to keep on the game here. Just see if Yo's actually missed this one.
Even so, I don't think one Eagle Scout is going to make too much of a difference. The good old box formation coming in with these archers. And yeah, I mean, they can eventually poke down these skirmishers, but this is just causing more and more idle time here for Hera. Yo, just consistently 2 villagers ahead. And yeah, he even has, like, just being able to deny this main gold is so nice. And this gold is going to be super hard to take as well. Oh, look at this sneaky, sneaky tower. Switch to Hera's POV and see if he can see it.
Oh, he can with those archers.
Very, very clearly. He did grab Town Watch. I did forget about that, you know, a little bit ago. So the villager is going to have to run away, but isn't going to die. At least I don't... Well, actually, no, the archers will kill him.
Yeah, that's it. We've got more Eagles actually out in the map at the moment as well for Hera. Going to be able to use them to put some pressure on the skirmishes. Skirmishes, of course, trying to take the engagement under the tower, so they at least get a little bit of extra bulk damage in that.
Yep, skirmishers are, as it happens, absolutely horrible against Eagle Warriors.
You don't say.
Yeah, to say the very least. But the tower is going to do whatever it can. Still, though, Hera's cleaning up all of this army from Yo, and the kill-death ratio is actually still massively in his favor, even though Yo's economy is stronger. Let's check to see what Castle Age times are going to be looking like. Because Hera, if he gets a market, can click up pretty soon. Yo, meanwhile, actually likely going to be a little bit slower. I guess that is just going to be the power of Aztec farmers right there, because Yo's just been at a consistent 2-villager lead for a good portion of this game. And Hera, meanwhile, has the nice army of archers right here.
And like you were mentioning, Hera having a lot of gold in the bank there. He's actually throwing down an archery range just towards the west of his gold there. So he will be looking at moving up very, very quickly.
Wait, you mean a market?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, is he going triple ranges in Feudal Age? What is this madness? Okay, no, that makes more sense. Hera is indeed going to be a little bit faster in clicking up. Defensive Watchtower now on the way here for Yo, who's going to be stonewalling behind this. He's still a little ways off, but with the market power, he should be able to click up in not too long. But I think Yo recognizes that his opponent's going to be faster up to Castle Age, getting all of these contingency walls down. And I think a transition into Knights should be very good. They'll be okay against the archers and will obviously wreck any Eagle Warriors.
Hera as well has clicked his way up, like you were saying, did make things very, very easy, keeping that archer production up now as well. The transition from Yo, as you were saying, going to be a little bit slower here, but when it comes down to it, Hera is still completely forced out around his base. He's got a lot of area he does need to cover, so if the Knights get in with that mobility, should be able to do a good job raiding away.
Yeah, Yo doing a really nice job making sure he is completely walled, has clicked up the Castle Age, will be a little under 50% of the way slower. Eagle Scouts, I guess, just living up to their name and scouting, but what's Hera going to be doing? Is he going to do a more Eagle-focused transition or a more Archer one? And clearly it's going to be an Archer one.
Yeah, I was looking at what he was building up there, and it seems like it's really kind of committing to that.
So yeah, we'll be seeing Archers versus Archers. I thought you would go for the Knight switch, because it would be better against the Eagle Warriors. But no, he's going to be going for Archers. Malians can throw down a cheaper University and get a very quickly researched ballistics and, potentially get a nice little timing right there. But you can see with the military counts, that is still massively in favor of Hera with taking the better trades and having the faster production.
Hera's done a really good job to pull him back into this game now. He just needs to move in, get a couple of villager kills, and with that, he'll start really pulling himself back ahead.
Oh, this could be a huge trap here from Hera. Look, right in the middle of the map.
Oh,
little bit of micro attempt here from Yo, forward villager. Again, Yo's not too worried about it. It's just trying to get the villagers or the archers he can. Will be forced away. Did take some decent trades all around. The archers' timing was a little bit off, but now with the Eagle Warriors coming in as well, it should be at least pretty straightforward cleanup. Actually, I don't like the Eagle Warriors sticking around there, but most of Yo's archers are now dead. The military count overall is fairly even, but Hera is the one with the faster Castle Age. Forward Siege Workshop coming in as well. And I wonder what Yo is going to be doing, because he needs to be able to keep up with his opponent's military.
This is really good. I was starting to get worried that Hera might be a bit shaken after the start he had here, with Yo just getting such a good advantage in the lane. But it's nice to see that Hera acknowledges the fact that he needs to play this one aggressively, and he's got the confidence to play it out that way.
Yeah, certainly. Second TC also on the way for Hera, so typical for him, he's not going to go for like a 1 TC all-in. He is at least going to have some sort of macro behind this, and he's in a pretty good spot here offensively. Siege Workshop coming in defensively for Yo himself. That makes plenty of sense. Second TC and even third TC on the way from him. Yo is going to just boom this one out, and you know, why not? He's pretty safe at home.
Well, he's even got half stone walls up at this point. In fact, more than half stone walls. So he's feeling very confident back at home. Gets a mangonel out or something. He can hold most of those archers quite easily. So it's just about trying to outboom his opponent now.
Yep. Nothing from the Siege Workshop for Hera. He built the Siege Workshop, but he hasn't built anything from it, so that's a little bit strange.
It's just there to be scary.
Oh yeah. Skirmisher dying to the town center though. And crossbowmen making their way around here for Yo. I don't think they'll be getting a ton done, as there is that town center right there. Just trying to be a little bit annoying. Meanwhile, Hera, again, looking with a small group of his own crossbowmen. Both players certainly wise to what's going on. Villager count now pretty much totally even.
I'm just looking back towards Hera's base. We've got Yo really trying to find someone to do some damage here. Really kind of not happening at this stage. Hera kind of just cruising around looking for somewhere as well. Towards the north of Yo's base, and that wood line, that's probably somewhere he can kind of poke in a little bit, try and do some damage over the tree line there. As for Hera, he's got his TC up in the back. There's still that gold mine over in the back as well. There's potentially unguarded, but the outpost is up, so he should see anything coming. Third town center up on the stone there as well.
Yeah, at this point, Yo will likely climb a little bit ahead in economy, but it's not going to be too big of a difference, especially since Hera is going to have the power of those Aztec farmers, who, with their extra carry capacity, just magically end up farming really fast with some voodoo AoE math. But Yo going to be going the big old long way around for this counterattack, all the way around this way. But with the outpost and the TC here, I think Hera should be pretty okay in terms of defending it.
Hera's looking for a little bit of an assault here on the top at Yo, and looks like he did get the mangonel for free there as well. Lost a little bit of HP, but it will survive. Yo popping out a couple of archers, trying to whittle it down, but he's just not going to get there, sadly. So Hera going to be able to keep the pressure up on these archery ranges.
That is certainly going to be the case. And again, there's the stable. I think Yo would want to switch into Knights eventually, and yes, he is going to just right now. And
we do have a quick pause from the players, however. Both of them
How do you know it's a quick pause? It could be
because I'm an optimist.
A catastrophic game-breaking pause. Oh no, but I don't. At least I hope this shouldn't be too big of an issue, as Hera in a pretty good spot to make some damage happen.
There's a Nilly. I think I've seen an overlay guy in there as well, just checking on what's happening on their end of the spectrum here. And basically, Hera's just got to kind of keep this aggressive up. Did land some good hits with his crossbows as well towards the west of his base. So looking pretty good there in terms of what he's actually dealing out. Just needs to be careful with these crossbows sneaking around from Yo, that it doesn't get onto his gold in the back here or really kill off any of his villages on stone. But keeping a good eye on the mini-map with that outpost should be able to keep it going pretty easily.
Yeah, certainly. And you know, these players are just trying to poke away at each other. I think that, yeah, Hera has a slight advantage because ultimately both of these guys are now on 3 TCs and are just booming away, and Aztecs have a bit of a better boom. Hera has a large military. It looks like we have resumed the game. So I think the onus is going to be kind of on Yo to make some sort of switch. Obviously, the stable is up. A knight is on the way. But, you know, without Bracer, Malians need to do something in like Castle Age that isn't.
He's got a second and third stable coming up behind this one as well, so Yo really looking to commit here, feeling relatively confident. So he's going to get in, hopefully deal with this mangonel. I guess he kind of moves around the crossbows at this stage until he gets a big enough bulk. Either stays at home. Ooh, that low HP mangonel.
Mangonel hit for Yo right there. Crossbowmen coming on in. Villagers have been evacuated safely, but little bit of better micro there for Hera, like we were saying. Hera, very strong micro from him, and hasn't lost a crossbow just yet. Oh, look at that pretty micro there from Hera. Killing 2 crossbows for free right now, is now sending the gold villagers back, and the villager count is dead even. Both players actually gathering some amount of stone. I think Hera might want to drop a forward castle at some point, especially to take control of this area that we were saying at the beginning was ever so crucial. But something I'm interested in, what is the resource commitment for Yo? Okay, so he is probably making quite a few knights here quick, and he's getting a lot of upgrades.
We've got bloodlines, we've got husbandry, both coming down as well.
Yeah, and ram actually on the way for Hera, so he really wants to make something happen. Yo only has the 2 villagers on stone right now, so I guess he's not too close to a castle.
Ooh, a 4th stable from Yo as well. He is ready to commit.
Oh wow, yeah, that is the number 4 of those stables. Oh no, man, and like the thing I really like about Malians is you can make these transitions fairly easily because you have these the cheaper wood cost on the building. It's kind of like Chinese, and the cheaper tech costs kind of has the similar effect of you can go for these somewhat different army compositions and make these switches happen. Also, although Hera does have the larger army, Yo's is all clumped up together. Hera's seems a little bit spread apart. Yo put 1 crossbowman, actually has 1 like chilling on top of the tower somehow. Magic.
The magic of cinema. But Yo, again, looking for somewhere to kind of use these crossbows, get some worth out of them before the night switch really does come in. He hasn't moved anything across the map yet. He hasn't given away anything in terms of the stables or the switch that is coming yet. We do have Yo also expanding out. Looks like he wants to start locking down these extra golds, these extra stones towards the other side of his base as well. But battering ram out for Hera. Looks like he just wants to clean up that watchtower next to his gold there. And it looks like he's throwing up a castle behind this as well.
Yep, that makes plenty of sense. Yo does have the high ground, but Hera now has ballistics, so that should give him a big advantage in this crossbow fight. Both players have lost 2 so far, but I imagine Hera will be chasing Yo away, and that is indeed the case. Some knights coming down here. They do have bloodlines and +2 defense, but that's still quite a lot of crossbowmen with the ballistics tech. And Hera is just about to click to Imperial Age in just a second, and Yo should be very, very far away. Okay, he's not like completely far away, but you can see he's spending a lot of his food on these knights. And yeah, like I was going to say, 4th TC makes sense for Yo. When you're committing this much to Castle Age military production, it makes sense to try and get that 4th TC and really get a big economy going when you get into Imperial Age. But Hera should have a nice early timing with Arbalest where he can make something happen.
I'm even really liking the way Hera's laid out his base too with this castle here. It's going to make raiding very, very hard for Yo, especially when he's only got the +2 armor on those knights as well. They will soak up a little bit of damage, but in terms of the way everything's sitting there, he's going to be able to just stream those knights in, and Hera's going to be able to either garrison or just deal with those very, very easily.
Look at this micro on the left-hand side here for Hera, killing all of the crossbowmen. Mangonel likely going to die as well, just able to really, really, get in close on the Mangonel and prevent it from having the range to kill the crossbowmen. And yeah, still no Imperial Age quite yet here for Yo. I mean, he has 38 farmers, so he'll get there pretty quickly. And here we see actually a switch intact over to the Eagle Warriors here from Hera. It makes sense since Eagle Warriors are going to be probably the Aztec strongest unit. But they don't do that well against the cavalry, so we'll have to see how this works out.
Alright, knights are just about to hit the base now for Yo as well, so Hera going to have to be very, very careful here. Looks like he has seen what's going on. He's got the outpost up there, and waiting to see the garrisons. Has evacuated the farms down towards the side. Looks like he's keeping everything relatively safe, but look at this. All the villagers are going to get caught there by the knights.
Yeah, this is actually really huge right now because it's at this perfect time when Hera's not quite to Imperial Age yet. He doesn't have these Eagle Warrior techs in, and this is just such a good timing. That's like 10 plus villagers down already. More and more knights are coming in. I don't think the ones on the right-hand side... Well, actually, this mill is pretty exposed if you can get there, but the crossbowmen are there. Should be able to kill these knights pretty comfortably, but the thing is, Yo will now know that this Eagle Warrior transition is coming, and now knights from the left-hand side swooping down, shooting, getting shot at by the town center, but yeah, still with +2 defense and +1 attack, these guys are just such strong raiding units, and now Yo, since he is on 4 TCs himself, is in an incredibly good spot, but there is the Imperial Age.
Man, the layout for Hera is really, really good, but he just can't deal with this raiding right now. It's from so many different angles that he has no way of keeping those crossbows, and he's actually moving the crossbows out across the map now as well, as we have Yo streaming more knights into Hera's base as well.
Oh yeah, and now a monastery coming in for Yo, just take the routes, and he's on, remember, 4 stable knight production, and there's only even +1 defense coming in for the Eagle Warriors, so their upgrades are fairly underwhelming. Yeah, they're just Eagle Warriors with +1 defense and soon to be Squires. That is not like the world's most terrifying unit if you're with +1/+2 knights. And there's the Imperial Age coming in for Yo. He has a strong economy, 111 villagers for him. Yes, Hera's army is way larger, but Yo's doing a brilliant job of just keeping Hera on his side of the map for as long as possible. But now that Yo's clicked up to Imp, he's had to stall his military production a bit, and he needs to defend while he makes the switch into Swordsman.
This is fantastic from Yo. If he can hold Hera back for just a little bit longer, gain that time to get up into Imperial, start getting his upgrades behind this, he'll be in a good spot to kind of hold this next push, which is about to come in. Hera actually starting to move back with his crossbows and regroup here, just while he waits for all his Eagle Warrior upgrades to actually pop in.
Oh, but look at this big catch here from Hera.
No.
Actually, only 1 knight has gone down so far. That's pretty surprising.
That's really surprising.
Knights are quite tanky, as it turns out. So Hera still hasn't made the push happen quite yet. And the thing, like I was saying with Malians, with those cheaper building costs, the wood cost thing, you can really make those tech switches much more easily. And with the extra Pierce armor that Malians have, you can do pretty well versus the Arbalest, and obviously they'll just annihilate the Eagle Warriors.
Alright, the Eagle spam is starting to come from Hera. He's pushing in towards Yo's base. Starting to get a little bit of damage on that archery range there, but the castle will force them out for now. Yo's starting to get that swordsman line up and going. Just throwing up as many barracks as he can behind this, getting ready for the inevitable spam.
Making several Gebettos as well, interestingly. I'm not sure if that is the nice play here from Hera, having the Eagle Warrior, the Eagle Warrior right by the relic so that it denied the monk. You're actually building a barracks over here, interestingly.
The raiding proxy barracks.
The raiding proxy barracks, indeed. Trebuchet, though, is on the way here for our red player. Yo, still 20% of the way from Imperial Age. The longswordsmen are going to be good. We still don't have Elite Eagle Warrior in just yet. It's around halfway done. But there's still, I think, a pretty nice window where Hera can make something big happen.
Absolutely. He just needs to really kind of hit this one hard with the raid. He is starting to actually lock down this hill towards the west of his base as well. Getting a castle up there, going to defend his wood line and that entire flank side of his base.
But there's still the sneak barracks.
There is still the sneaky barracks. It's just moved a couple of feet away.
Yeah, just had to have a slight relocation right there. Anyway, there's several Gebettos here. I was wondering if these would be like a mainstay of his army or if they were just going to be for siege snipes. Now we do have Elite Eagle Warrior done, but two-handed swordsman is on the way. Only one trebuchet here just right now. Oh, the Gebettos are going for the snipe, and they will get it!
Fantastic.
Oh, Gebettos are so nice as like a utility unit. And unleash the swords! And here come the long swordsman, two-handed swordsman, not quite done just yet. Even though both these units have 60 HP and 9 attack, remember, guys, that the long swordsman deal a significant amount of bonus damage to the Eagle Warriors, so they are going to be performing fairly well, even without the upgrade. But of course, on top of that, the upgrades are coming in as well.
We've got Hera again just trying to expand out his economy, find more and more room, but the proxy barracks is shut down by the lone Jaguar warrior.
And, well, Hera also doing a nice job collecting some relics. Obviously going to be very important as Aztecs, both players. Very similar economic numbers. Nice little bit of a raid here onto the gold miners by Hera. And, you know, he is at around a 900 score lead right now, but I kind of like the army of Yo a bit better. I'm not quite sure what Hera's transition is going to be. Is he going to try and switch into Jaguar Warriors himself to deal with all the swordsmen? He's making more Eagle Warriors. That's not the winning move.
Yeah, definitely not against this. Yo has literally prepared himself for this. On top of that as well, he's starting to throw out more castles around his base as well, really starting to lock it down, so if that raiding does come in, he has options to actually begin to deal with it.
Yes, certainly, and here we go. The Jaguar Warrior production has begun. A unique unit you don't see all that often, just because you don't see people make infantry versus Aztecs all the time. But when you need them, they are a great unit to have, and they will just absolutely shred through these swordsmen like butter. It means that there is going to need to be some sort of ranged counterpart here in the army of Yo. This is, I guess, going to be in the form of some mangonels for the time being. We'll have to see. There is this neutral gold here to the north that Hera is looking to take potentially, but now we have the champions done with their +8 armor, or soon to be.
Oh, these crossbows are in so much trouble right now. They're going to have to back up towards the castle, but even then, I'm just excited to see what these champions can do.
Oh yeah, champions, not a unit we see all that often, but you know, once the +4 defense comes in, these guys will have 8 pierce armor, just be taking almost no damage, just 1 damage actually from crossbowmen. But we see that the Jaguar Warrior switch is indeed happening. And, like, they're so incredibly strong against infantry, like, I'm pretty sure they would kill the champions in, like, 3, max 4 hits.
We've got a good play by Yo as well. He actually did find the economy of Hera down towards the south there on the lumber camp. Has denied most of that. Hera starting to feed a couple of Eagle Warriors into Yo's base. Really looking for some way he can kind of do some damage. Pull away from the eco a little bit more. In terms of the villager count, nearly dead even. We've got Hera on 139, Yo on 135. Military count actually a little bit further behind for Hera. But Hera really starting his transition nicely now.
Indeed, that's the case. The thing with Jaguar Warriors is that they do produce quite slowly. So you do have to have a little bit of time on your hands before you can get them up and running comfortably. Yo, also with the castle on the right side in this hill, it's really interesting because it won't come into play until like way later. It's just how Yo plays, and well, I guess that's where he felt like he needed to be. Didn't want to go too aggressive with the castle, but in come the champions here towards the base of Hera. Remember, champions so good at taking down buildings with arson, but we have Garland Wars on the way as well. We already have Elite Jaguar Warrior, so once these upgrades come in, they will just be shredding through the champions.
And look at this, just like like you were saying, just a couple of hits is all it takes. They take them down so quickly, manage to deal with it. All he's got to do is try and stay under this castle for now. Even with the extra armor that we're going to have on those champions, it's going to help kind of whittle them away slowly but surely. Crossbows, again, doing their best to push them away, but Yo at the moment, he just can't get into the eco of Hera to really do any damage that he's looking for.
Ooh, Hera looking to build a castle here. I actually missed there was a neutral stone
there's
here.
a Treb on the way as well.
Oh, and the champions are here, and they are going to do so well. Like I was saying, guys, Yo is just such a strong player in these late-game scenarios. He is going to need some sort of non-champion unit to deal with all of these Jaguar warriors, but right now, the castle of Yo is very likely to go up, and that cannot be said for Hera's castle.
It is a very big issue for him there. Yo, though, doing a great job locking down as many of these resource-rich areas as he can. Denying that castle from Hera as well is huge, taking that extra gold for himself. I'm not even sure what kind of play Hera can make to take that at the moment, because I haven't really seen him get to a point where he can try and get those trebuchets out, because he's so busy building Jaguar warriors.
Indeed, and okay, yeah, Yo's trebuchet is a little bit ahead of itself right there, but even if that goes down, it's still, I think, like, the map control is slowly but steadily increasing here for Yo, and like I was saying, this guy's like long-term strategic planning is so good. He knows where the important points on the map are to take. This hill is going to be really annoying, and there's like so much wood here as well if this game drags on super long. And just through sheer numbers of champions and the Jaguars being pushed and pulled every which way, he's doing all right for himself. And it's still just champions and some Gebettos, I guess.
That's it. If he can use the Gebetto effectively here and keep raiding on through, use them to deal with as many of the Jaguar warriors as possible, he's in a good place. The only thing I'm worried about is if he doesn't make that transition properly, and it's just champions going up against these Jags, but like you were saying, he just needs to whittle away the Jaguars quicker than he can whittle away all the champions.
Hera says if at first you don't succeed, try again, but the Jaguars get absolutely mauled, which is rather ironic considering the name of the unit. But, I mean, yeah, okay, Jaguar warriors are really good against infantry guys, but they're not like a, 2 to 6 ratio.
That's definitely a big ask for most units.
Yeah, indeed. Now we actually have Farimba on the way, so maybe a light cav switch or cavalier. Hera is actually very well endowed with resources. Yo is as well, so a cavalier switch would totally make sense. And Hera's trying to go for a castle, and this is plenty of Jaguar warriors with which to kill all of these champions. But the champions are actually doing a pretty nice job just trying to focus the villagers as best they can. But I still think Hera is going to be at least in an all-right position to try and retake.
They just melt away to those Jaguars. Once you have the numbers there, it doesn't need to be even, but once you've got the numbers, they do such a good job at holding these champions back. And here we go with Hera. Castle. Ooh, looks like it will actually get denied there for a second as well.
Oh, and look at this, Yo smartly trying to deny the relics. Oh, the trebuchet is still barely alive. Villagers trying to repair the monastery, trying to get rid of these 2 relics, and indeed, Yo is able to do that. Military counts are dead even. This is such a great game number 1 for this series. Now the light cav coming in, they're only going to be doing so well against the Jaguar warriors. I mean, they have 20 base attack. Like that's a lot of damage. But here we go, castle coming up here for Hera. Yo not going to be able to take as much of this gold, but he is taking quite a bit of the stone, to be fair.
Yo really just looking for options at this point in time. He's got the light cavalry there to try and do some raiding, but the Jaguar numbers are up at the moment for Hera, so he will be able to start pushing it against this forward base of Yo. Gonna have to find a way to deal with it, but he's producing those champions so quickly. He's pop-capped up behind this as well, so it's just making things so difficult for Hera to push into.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Obviously abusing the defender's advantage right there, but on top of that, like the Jaguar warriors are like spread out in terms of where they're coming from, and they're trickling in one by one. So despite having a terrible matchup versus the Jaguar warriors, the champions are just able to muscle their way through just barely. And now we see Hera trying to reclaim these relics. He still has the score lead. He still has the superior army in a big straight up fight, but he's just never really been able to take that fight that he wants.
The light cav rating, however, is about to begin as well. Like Onlu pointed out before, they're up to a massive 7+7 attack on those, so going to be able to deal with the villagers quite efficiently here. Hera, however, started to get that army of siege rams together, and will start pushing down these barracks to try and nullify that defender's advantage.
And indeed, that should be very, very strong. That, like, now the Jaguar warriors are all grouped up together, and the champions should be absolutely melted like butter. We need to see some Cavalier or something, I guess, because the champions are now going to be getting absolutely decimated. You just see how this is not a close fight whatsoever, and we have Elite Gebetto on the way.
We do, and I'm excited to see what he can do with this. The only thing is he has to hold on to these castles to keep his production up. Siege Rams coming in, there's not really a lot to stop them there at the moment.
Nope, the champions are going to be able to shred them if the siege rams get close, but at that point the Jaguar warriors will just use the siege rams as covering fire, and you can just see how strong the Jaguar Warrior is in those situations where your opponent is making infantry. Also, I think Hera was able to grab the 3rd relic. I saw him pick up the relic. I know it's going towards him.
It's around here somewhere.
Yeah. Anyway, 2nd castle up here for Yo. And this is going to be a very strong defensive position, and Gebettos are a really good defensive unit because they kind of act like archers, but they have 13 base attack, and they shred rams because they deal melee damage. So yeah, the Jaguar Warriors will do super well if they get in close, but it's kind of hard to with all of this infrastructure here.
Then we've got the bulk with the castles firing over it as well. It's not exactly a place he wants to be if he can avoid it as well, and the Jaguar Warriors' number is now just falling so quickly that Hera's got to find a way to keep the numbers back up.
Yeah, but Yo really struggling for resources right now. Hera, meanwhile, if I can hit the shift button, a little bit better, but still not as great as you might hope for. And look at this, the Jaguar Warriors are all dying. Hera's like committing way too much to this. He still has a massive numbers advantage. He's pushing on all sides right now, and his production queue is way bigger than that of his opponents. But it looks like Hera now is going to be the one taking all the map control. He's taking the gold on the left-hand side. He's just completely pushing Yo back on all fronts. Hera's playing this late game incredibly well.
He's got outposts up across most of the map as well, so if Yo does want to go for something, Hera will see it before it happens.
Yeah, and again, I feel like Yo stayed on champions a little bit too long, and I'm still not super sold on the Gebetto switch because I'm sure even like at ladle skirmishers, because the Gebettos are so flimsy, will die, and that's exactly what Hera's transitioning to, so I think that's incredibly smart from him. And now it's just coming in with some pikemen, some Jaguar Warriors, and I feel like there should have been a ranged component here for Yo, like hand cannons ideally, like skirmishers or something. Anyway, Gebettos are still going to be trying to come in here for the raiding attempts, and Hera is going to be forced to pull away for the time being, but still we see a big lead for Hera.
Hera's done a great job of just taking map control here. Yo just struggling to leave all that infrastructure we were talking about earlier. He's got the 2 castles together there that are working really well to try and lock everything down, trying to get some more actual, I guess, some raiding up over on the side there as well. Multiple stables coming up alongside those barracks and the siege that we've got there. But at the end of the day, I just don't know if he has the resources to really focus on the 2 fronts right now.
Yeah, another pause. Yo's smiling and chatting, and Hera's laughing too. So these guys are having a good time. They're having a really good game. Hera does have a solid advantage right now, but this game is very much swung back and forth, and it's really just been the good decision making of these players that have been able to, you know, find the chinks in their opponent's armor.
I think the big thing to be looking at right now is the fact that we've got Hera still locking down some of these resources. He's still got quite a bit of gold over towards the side there. He's got a little bit of stone to work with too, so he's not completely out and just relying on relics at this stage. He's got the most of the upgrades he's going to need for this fight as well. He's got his siege ram, he's got his Jaguar Warriors, so upwards from there. It's just a matter of seeing if he can push behind this, and a lot of elite skirmishes being added to the queue now too.
Ooh, I see a trebuchet rock, and indeed we have a trebuchet starting to work away at this castle of Yo. Gebettos are going to be incredibly strong when it comes to sniping, you know, trebuchets, but still, this actually is like an almost pure trash army, and Gebettos are pretty good against trash. This, lateral skirmishers do make me hesitate a little bit in saying that. We'll have to see how this fight turns out. As some light cav are coming in, but the pikemen will deal with those very well, and just see how well the Gebettos do, I guess.
So we've got Hera again getting raided on the sides there. Yo's just trying to strip away any of these extra resources that he can use against him right now. Doing the best job he can there, but Hera just getting such an army at the front here. This is just going to be so hard to push into, and with those trebuchets, the trebuchets are engagement makers when it comes down to it. Yo can't sit under his infrastructure. He has to come out and face that on the field now. The Gebetto making their best attempt. They're going to hopefully try and, looks like they're going to go around the side, potentially could look for some raiding opportunity here.
Yeah, I think that Hera is very much dictating this game right now. He has the extra gold income, he has so many resources in the bank, he's not really hemorrhaging too many gold units, and Yo is just completely stretched for resources, 0 gold income for him, just kind of relying on the power of Light Cav and Gebetto, which, it's...
Is it enough? The answer is probably not at this stage.
No, it's really not. Like, I just can't see a justification for the Gebetto switch, honestly. I feel like hand cannons or what's that unit called? Oh yeah, like arbalests or something.
Describe it to me.
I've been casting for quite a while now. So yeah, I mean, the light cav, if they get into the skirmishers, are certainly going to be able to do work, and the pikemen are no halberdiers, even with Garland Wars, but actually the army count is closing in. Somehow Yo is being able to buy enough time. the Gebettos are cleaning up the Jaguar Warriors with the power of Micro.
That's a huge fight there, one for Mr. Yo with those Gebetto. So little units lost to such an amount taken here as well. This is where the number switch really starts to come into it.
Look at this, the population has now been evened up. Yeah, Hera has a slight lead, but now Yo trying to push on in two fronts at the same time, some champions coming in. One castle was destroyed, but there is another one alive. And remember, in the late game, Aztecs do really struggle in that they can't have a food dump, so to say, in the form of light cav. So they're, you're making pikemen, you're making skirmishers, but there is no way to spend a ton of food if you have that. And Yo has 75 farmers for Farimba light cav.
This is insane. Yo also making the great decision. Every chance he gets, he's pushing down that monastery. He's trying to get those relics out of the opportunity for Hera to be able to make use to. And more raiding going down on the opposite side of the map here as well. Hera just needs to find a way to hold this one down, and the momentum has definitely switched.
Yeah, some siege ramps going to be trying to take down these trebuchets, but I think that the trebuchets should be fine. Remember that Gebettos themselves are pretty good at sniping buildings. Light cavalry raiding every which way here. Now Hera's population is starting to drop. Yo is just everywhere with these Farimba light cav. They just deal so much damage, and Hera is kind of being picked apart. Remember, his army is all infantry and archers. It's pretty slow.
Trebuchet as well from Yo. He's not even risking it in the fights. He knows how valuable this is right now. Hera, though, still 1.5k gold in the bank. He's got a lot to work with here. But the villager count right now, so low in comparison. We've got Hera dropping down to under 100. Yo sitting up on over 130. The military count, still a little bit of a win here for Hera, but the population just keeps plummeting for Hera.
Hera's bank is massive because he's been taking such cost-efficient trades for most of this game, and I really have to wonder, is Hera just gonna like max out?
Just survive this?
No, I feel like he's gonna lose a ton of villagers and just get to a huge army that Yo has no chance of stopping, and he might be able to steamroll him at that point. We'll have to see. I hear the relic sound, so Hera is still trying to reclaim those 3 relics. And the thing is, the pure army of trash is not that amazing for Hera. I think he does need to spend his gold on something. I'd recommend maybe Eagle Warriors, possibly, to get some raiding done of his own, because Yo's pretty safe.
Yo's looking great at the moment. He's just dictating the fight again. We've seen that switch of momentum just continually throughout this map. All it takes right now is Hera to kind of fight off the rest of the units around his base here. And like you said, make a switch into Eagle Warriors, something where it could be a little bit, I guess, pull a little bit more momentum, be a little bit quicker paced, and then push it out. But it looks like in the queue, we're seeing Jaguars, we're seeing siege ramps come up. Looks like Hera just keeps looking for that final blow, and he just can't seem to find it at the moment.
Yeah, I think what Hera really wants to be doing is just taking one big fight and just pushing Yo into oblivion, because his army count is so much higher because he has the, the lower villager count. But Yo is just not letting him take that one big fight. He's trying to push on every front at once, not let his opponent, who has the superior army, just completely steamroll you. And he's just barely trying to hang in there right now, but he's still, there's 0 gold income for him. Hera still has so many resources in the bank. It's going to be, I think, still a long uphill battle here for Yo.
That's it. No one... It looks like things are starting to change on the map, but in reality here, both players are still in a reasonably decent situation. No one's ready to call this one. Yo's kind of getting stuck towards his base now, but he's got another counter-attack moving in from the other side. He's got those elite Gebetto there, he's got the light cav moving in from the raiding, and he's got the trebuchet pushing forward as well, just looking for that monastery, get rid of the relics again.
Like, that is just so incredibly smart. Now it's just one pikeman and a bunch of skirmishers. Yo's done a very good job of keeping these Gebetto alive. And in the middle, there is a huge attack here attempted by Hera, but even just these few barracks here making some very, cheap champions. Well, champions themselves don't cost that much. Just trying to snipe those siege ramps, but that is a lot of pikemen. Even just a few Jaguar warriors can make all the difference, but still the military gap is closing. This is so much damage being done to Hera on the right side of his base.
The good news is, however, Hera has managed to snipe that trebuchet out of there, so he will keep those relics safe for now. But like you were saying, there's elite Gebetto. Yo, he runs in with them, gets a little bit of ground, kills a whole bunch of units, runs out, keeps them alive, stays efficient.
Yeah, definitely. And Hera's resources are slowly but steadily dropping. There is no more gold on this map. This one was mined out, that stone was mined out, and this is really all these players are working with. Yeah, Hera's going to have the advantage with his relics, but to be fair, Yo does have the opportunity to research guilds and Hera doesn't, but I would still favor Hera going in. He still has the much larger army, castle under heavy siege. Yo has no stone with which to repair it.
We're just seeing a huge queue of light cavalry at the moment from Mr. Yo. He just needs to keep raiding, keep trying to pull Hera's army back. But like you were saying, we've just got so many rams here at the front. Hera just needs some army to back it up. The problem is he's been just trying to mop up Yo's army, which has been absolutely everywhere. So he just doesn't have this one large force he can actually deal that death blow with again.
Hera's starting to run a little low on food, and the gold is only going to be so much. And he still hasn't pushed down Yo yet. Like, this is just a remarkable hold for Yo. And something I really have to give him credit for is this castle on the right-hand side. This was placed like way early, and it wasn't guarding any gold or stone, and it might seem strange, but that castle being uphill has just really been allowing him to have that staging point to constantly attack Hera. But here comes our red player, and that is a big old army.
That is a very big force here that Yo just does not have the numbers with here. We've got siege rams behind it as well, so we will be able to start taking down that infrastructure, which is also important right now, and really just starting to restrict where Yo can actually build up his forces from.
Yeah, again, it's Hera just really trying to max out that military army number count. But the Gebettos and the castle here, he really does need those siege rams front and center. And the infantry numbers are actually kind of getting sniped by these Gebettos. They just deal so much damage from range. Light Cav coming in from the left side as well. And Monastery hasn't been sniped yet, but it is still in a bit of danger. Yo is somehow still holding on, but now the siege rams are in.
These siege rams are just going to cut through everything so quickly here. We're going to be doing a good job to actually hold them down and try and do that damage. But the thing is, the skirmishes can just cut through them so quickly because the Gebetto, they just have such low HP as well.
No armor and only 45 HP. That is really not a lot. And importantly, Hera is able to get rid of his opponent's relics right there. Still has the population advantage now, trying to get some lumberjacks. I mean, I guess there's still a ton of wood Yo can take at the south, and there's a ton of wood that Hera can take on the left.
Oh man, we've got Eagle raiding in the back as well. Hera's started to mix them in. Always nice to see. It looks like Yo is starting to clean them up now, though, but it was nice. Look at how many inactive farms we have there.
Yeah, Yo, with 17 idle villagers right now, he does have like a fairly large army, but it's just not anywhere near as much as his opponent. Gebetto's coming in, Yo's just trying to kill this monastery the whole time. Both players realize that that relic gold generation can be the difference maker in this game. Yo dropping a ton of villagers to those Eagle Warrior raids that are now coming in, like you were saying, but look at Hera, he's out of gold.
Oh no, if Yo can just continue to hold this one on. The thing is that he has to deal with this big clump of army towards the front of his base. If he can start pushing this back, he'll be in a good situation to start taking the map control back and look at that. But right now, Yo's just been pushed into this single quarter of the map now, and he needs to find a way to hold on. These siege rams are just doing their job.
But here's the thing. There's one pikeman left, and Yo is, I think, even focusing down the pikemen. Ooh, a trebuchet coming in for Hera. It does have siege engineers. Yo is going to need to do some market magic to buy some stone if he wants to keep this castle alive, which is incredibly important. But I was going to say, there really isn't that much infantry left to stop the light cav from just absolutely wrecking things, and Yo is, unfortunately for him, going to lose that castle. That is going to be a very big win for Hera, who's still trying to keep this monastery alive in the south. Oh man, and there goes the castle for Yo. These have been two big wins back-to-back for Hera.
That's it. All he needs to do now is start pushing through, hold on to the advantages he's got here. Like you were saying, it's just about mixing those pikemen back in, and we've got that huge reinforced mass of pikemen coming in here. So the light cav really won't be able to kind of push in too far and protect that trebuchet.
Yeah, Yo is down to only 2 castles right now, and they're not even in the greatest positions to defend the bulk of his farming economy. And you just have these pikemen, I guess, now coming in to raid. The fearsome pikemen raid. So deadly. And yeah, now it's going to be Yo who's completely on the back foot. Nice run around here with the light cav, though. Sniping that trebuchet, anything that Yo can do to buy time is going to be really critical for him, as he's just going to try and light cav his way to victory.
Hera is starting to push all the rest of the units out of his base, though, so he's going to be starting to look pretty good. The opportunity here is for Yo to try and make something happen. Hera has cleaned up all the raiding, everything that was happening, so right now Yo needs to push this force back, or again, get into the raiding and just start distracting Hera again.
So the problem for Yo right now is just, the villager count is more or less even, but Hera's been taking a slightly better trade. So the kills death is actually in favor of Yo, but
look at
like
that military count, though. We've got 40 extra
exactly.
units on the field for Hera right now, and it just makes it so hard for Yo to be able to push into anything.
Exactly, and Yo is just, you know, taking advantage of the fact that his opponent has just really been unable to make a big siege push happen. Light Cav actually might take down the barracks in the north after they destroy this very important lumber camp. But still, these Gebettos need to hang strong and need to be able to snipe those pikemen.
We did actually see Yo check out the path that the monks would have taken for Hera if they claimed those relics. Did actually get 2 snipes there on top of the monks as well, plus stop the relics going all the way across the map. They're kind of sitting about in the middle now.
Oh, yeah,
so Hera hasn't got them yet, and he did lose 2 monks on there, but it's just looking easier and easier for him to keep taking them.
Yeah, Hera is still just in a better position than his opponent. Light Cav are not going to be too happy about running right there. Still, though, that in the north is getting cleaned up. but Yo is just really struggling for military population right now. He does have a much larger production tab if you look at that. He's actually still making a lot more villagers too, so I actually really like that, because this game, I mean, it could go on a lot longer.
Absolutely. Hera's starting to push out. He has actually saved up, got himself another trebuchet now. We'll be trying to take down this castle towards the eastern side of the map, take down this base, and this is where a lot of Yo's lumberjacks are now.
A lot of Yo's lumberjacks and possible wood income is here as well. Trebuchets both, whoa, the trebuchet got sniped by the other trebuchet, but another lumber camp being built. Yo needs this wood income right here, but this army is huge for Hera. It is around 100 military. He has almost doubled the army of his opponent. A couple siege rams coming in, but the Gebettos should be able to snipe that without too much issue, but still, that is just so many skirmishers here from Hera. Doubt would be so proud of him.
Second trebuchet gets put into the back as well. This castle's good. It's in a hill position here, but look at this. The trebuchet at the moment, the pikes are pretty much there ready to take it down. We've got the skirmishers moving in behind this one as well. The wood line's getting absolutely decimated. Yo trying to bring reinforcements in to help deal with this one, but the trebuchet gets sniped, and it looks like this castle will be going down now.
If only Yo had gotten the building HP upgrades, man.
It looks like Yo, though, making a smart decision here, actually looping the light cavalry around the back, but it looks like Hera knows what's happening here. He's seen this trick before. Hopefully he won't lose it. And oh, wow, actually walls in around the trebuchet as well, denying a lot of those light cavalry from getting on top of it straight away.
Still, though, beautiful play there from Yo, able to snipe that trebuchet. I mean, it's kind of like a budget version of the Magyar Hussars in the late game that you just use to run around and snipe all of the siege when you're trying to hold on as Magyars, but similar principle here.
That castle stands.
The castle is...
The castle stands. Yo managed to push off that massive force from Hera. That's an amazing play of efficiency.
Oh, yeah, like, both of these players are playing so extremely well, but I think Yo is just running out of options right now. He is down 50 military right now, but Hera himself is struggling to maintain, 200 population, but his bank still should be a lot greater than Yo's, who's actually running low on food because he only has 68 farmers. It's not enough for the light cav production he needs.
That is crazy to think about. Hera, though, as well, just still so much map control. Yo moving out, looks like he's looking for some more raiding here, and it just hasn't happened the way he needed it to thus far. Hera's just keep popping up behind this. There's another trebuchet out as well, so it looks like the castle will eventually come down, and that's pretty much the majority of the safe resource Yo has left at the moment. He's got some farms up around the side and just some small sections of wood around the sides, but apart from that, everything else is pretty much fair game.
This is actually a really unfortunate wood line for Yo on the right-hand side because a pond is blocking so much of it, but still, what's even more important than the wood income, at least right now, is the fact that the castle's going down and there is that strategic position that Yo no longer has available to him. But he has, what, almost 50 light cav queued up right now? Oh, I mean, he's going for it. Wait, he's absconded with a relic! Wait, how did that monk get all the way over there and back? That monk just went there and back again. A Monk's Tale by Monk the Monk. That's a new book, by the way. No response whatsoever. Turn is just so done with all of my caster jokes. Well, there's another pikeman raid coming at the north, though. What? 12 pikemen in box formation. The scariest army alive, apparently. But again, Hera is just marshalling this 117 military army that is going across the middle of the map. He does have the 3 relics. He can make these rams to supplement his army, and Yo is just doing everything he can to keep his opponent back, and I think Hera wins?
Hera does indeed win. Yo actually brought in some raids around the side, but it wasn't enough to hold on. Over towards the other side of the map, in Yo's economy, we just had Hera up in there entirely with a good bulk of his military, denying all the resource, and Yo had just lost too much ground. This may be one of my favorite games of the tournament so far. We're at day 3. We have a lot more days to come, but this is already a fantastic matchup.
I think this is my favorite game of the tournament so far. This game was amazing. Hera's was able to get ahead, and that was just so impressive, but Yo was able to hang on for so long, but just Hera was a little too efficient with his defense, a little too strong with his macro and decision making, and indeed that will be Hera taking the win there. 5,000 more gold for him. That is obviously so huge in this scenario. Yo with 99% map exploration, Hera with 97. These guys absolutely everywhere. Hera with 3 relics, 3,777.
That relic gold
that
makes
lucky
such a difference.
777 gold. So good for him. And Yo tried so hard to snipe that monastery, but Hera's defense was just a little too strong. And Turk, that's just game number 1. Oh,
that's
whoops,
game number 1 of
menu.
a best of 5 series.